On behalf of the Danish presidency, I would like to welcome you all to this final press conference of this weekend's summit. We've now finished our final negotiations concerning a common migration policy among the European member states. We in the presidency of the Council would like to thank all participants of the summit for their efforts and inputs regarding our final results. And we believe this is an agreement which is beneficial for all member states and also the immigrants turning to Europe. It was our great concern to put the rights and fair humane treatment of the individual immigrants in focus with this summit. And it is our opinion that we have been successful in this aspect. We have so far concluded upon the proposal pertaining also the amendments from the Commission that the Council agrees to present the proposal to the European Parliament. We have only made one small change to the new amendment, which is a mandatory requirement from the Council that the final paragraph of the description of the new approach towards Turkey is being omitted. This paragraph reads, with regard to the principle of conditionality, the EU should broaden accession negotiations with Turkey in order to provide it with visible incentives for consistently enhanced engagement in cross-border cooperation with the EU and Greece in particular. And it was a unanimous decision by the Council not to proceed with this specific phrasing. However, we do appreciate the Commission's concern for including and finding a solution towards improving Turkey's participation in our new migration policy. Further, I must say that we have, with this proposal, we have concluded upon the specific area of the Mediterranean, where we believe we have reached a very good solution. And it is decided also and agreed upon by the Commission that we will hold one more summit in relation to a common migration policy. And in this summit we will discuss the dimension of the external borders. We will continue our negotiations with a common visa application system and a common asylum application system. And the intention of this is that after the next summit we will have two documents that will be joined into one full document where we cover all aspects of a common migration policy. I would like to thank the Commission for their enormous work that they have put into reaching and helping us reach this agreement. And thank you.
So the spokesman will take questions?
Yes.
Yes. This has of course been an exciting couple of days, intensive negotiations, and that is why we have invited you here to share your points of view with some of the NGOs and experts who have also attended the summit and have some of them been invited to give their point of view. Some have only tried to influence the event via the press. So, first of all, of course, the overall results. I would like to, of course, start with the Danish presidency. If you could elaborate a bit more on, do you consider this a success, a qualified success? And if so, why?
On behalf of the Danish presidency, to give a straight answer, yes, we do see it as a qualified success. Of course, we have issues that we need to discuss further in coming summits, but we have a broad agreement on a common immigration policy, and we have reached many of the aspects that we set out with. So yes.
And the Commission President Barroso, do you think that this is something that you can move forward to, and do you have had any discussions on the prospect of actually getting this through the European Parliament?
Well, we believe that our proposal to these series of new measures here and the amended ones we did earlier this day, very much close up to the last negotiation, we believe that the European Parliament is going to look at this constructively, and they're going to approve it. I don't know how many amendments there should be on this one here, but we believe that we have come up with a whole proposal in its entirety, and we believe it's good for the Union and it's good for the member states. And the European Parliament will also think that way. I certainly believe so.
There was also a brief mention of a follow-up summit. Is there any specific topics that will be brought up there? Is it something you are at liberty to comment upon now?
Actually, it was what the president of the council just said. The visa system, common visa system, common asylum application system, for instance, are to be further negotiated.
Okay, so but that's all you can elaborate upon now.
That will be some of the issues, yes.
Then, of course, I would like to hear some responses. First of all, I think we should start with the resident expert, Mr. Papadimitriou, from the Migration Policy Institute. Do you think that this qualified as what is stated, a more comprehensive and cohesive and efficient system of migration?
I think the document that we have before us now seems to be a step on the path towards a comprehensive migration policy. As mentioned, there's lots to be done still. We believe that it's still important to focus on the humanitarian aspects of migration, to focus on integration policy. This is a document that takes into account, as the presidency mentioned, mostly the challenges that have to do with security and the Mediterranean area. So we definitely welcome we would welcome an invitation to further talks. I would just like to say shortly that we strongly appreciate the hard work of the Danish presidency, especially, and also the different parties to the negotiations. We've been quite happy to be invited into a forum where we can discuss these common challenges with other NGOs, with the parties to the negotiations, and we definitely see some positive aspects in the proposal that is in front of us now, but there is more work to be done.
Any specific points that you feel perhaps, if not missing, then could be strengthened or elaborated?
Well, I think we've made our expert opinion clear here at the talks, and I'm sure all the parties have been willing to hear our position, which is based on previous evidence and based on scientific research, of course. And we're quite happy with that. We understand that there are political limitations to what can be reached at a conference such as this. But we again salute the member governments for actively putting migration issues on the agenda.
The MPI president mentioned the human rights or humanitarian aspects. That of course leads me to question to you, Sven Erik, from representing Amnesty International. You voiced earlier your concern that you weren't officially invited to speak at this summit. Do you feel that your prior concerns about human rights violations have been addressed by this policy?